Hello, and welcome to the December installment of Construction Junction, presented to you by MSU Infrastructure Planning and Facilities. We hope that you'll find this new online format of Construction Junction useful and informative. If you have any comments or questions concerning this presentation, or have suggestions on how we might improve, please let us know via the feedback box on the Construction Junction webpage located at the address on the screen. We thank you in advance for helping us improve your experience. The agenda for the December presentation will begin with updates on which projects are going to the next two Board of Trustees meetings. We will then have an overview of the campus snow plan. There will then be new project presentations on the installation of permanent field lighting at Spartan Stadium, replacement of the field hockey playing surface at the Ralph Young track, and the restoration of the previous coal pile site at the T.B. Simon power plant. We will then have project updates on 1855 Place, Breslin Student Event Center facility upgrades, and the facility for rare isotope beams. Beginning with the December BOT meeting, the projects going to the board will be, for Step 2, authorization to proceed, Parking Lot 63 reconfiguration, Wharton Center roof replacement, Trowbridge Road repaving, and Parking Lot 92 reconstruction and expansion. Moving on to the February BOT meeting, the projects going to the board will be, for Step 2, authorization to proceed, alterations to Jennison Fieldhouse office space, instructional space improvements in Bessie Hall, Natural Science, and Veterinary Medicine, permanent field lighting at Spartan Stadium, engineering research complex addition and renovations, replacement of the Ralph Young track field hockey playing surface, and revitalization of the International Center. And for Step 3, bid and contract award, food processing and innovation center, and replacement of the HVAC systems in the IM West pool and locker room. We begin this month's presentation with an overview of the campus snow plan. Winter is just around the corner, and so when conditions warrant, we ask that you practice good snow safety by giving yourself extra time to travel to work, driving carefully, dressing warmly, wearing sensible shoes with good traction, being extra aware of where you are walking and the condition of your path, shortening the length of your stride, and remembering to check the forecast before heading outside. For your safety, please remember to not dart out in front of or behind snow removal equipment. It is large, loud, and difficult to stop quickly. And make eye contact with snow removal equipment operators before crossing in front of them. The university uses a combination of brine and ice melt compound to combat icy conditions. Brine solution works by preventing adhesion of snow to hard surfaces, while ice melt is used on ice that has already formed. Often both are used in combination to speed the time it takes for melting compound to take effect. If you see any icy spots on campus, please call the campus operators at 353-1760 to report. Please remember that it does take time for ice melt compound to take effect. Here you can see the effect that preventative brining has on the ability of crews to cleanly remove snow and ice. The areas that were brined kept snow and ice from sticking to them, thus allowing complete removal, unlike the areas that were not brined, which still retain some snow and ice even after snow removal equipment has passed. Again, an example of the preventative effect of brining ahead of a snow event. We ask that the campus community partner with IPF crews to help ensure everyone's safety, by applying ice melt compound to areas outside of building entrances if they see slick spots. This helps avoid incidents until our crews have had a chance to clean the area. There are marked buckets of ice melt compound available at all entrances for this purpose. However, we also ask that you please be judicious in your use of ice melt in order to minimize the environmental impacts. Please do not park so close to sidewalks that your vehicle's bumper hangs over it. This makes clearing the sidewalk with our motorized equipment impossible. We also ask that you avoid parking in sections of lots that have not yet been cleared, either parking in already cleared areas or waiting for our crews to finish clearing the lot before parking. We remind everyone that parking is prohibited in residence hall loops from 2 to 6 a.m. Our crews have a formidable task ahead of them after a snow event, and keeping these areas free from vehicles helps removal efforts go more smoothly and quickly. Again, if you see icy or dangerous spots on campus, please call the campus operator at 353-1760. If you're not able to call, you can also tweet us at MSU Facilities. For more information about MSU snow removal plans, visit ipf.msu.edu. There you can find information on snow and ice removal services, as well as our environmentally green efforts. You can also email any feedbacks, suggestions, or comments to snowplan@ipf.msu.edu. We thank you for helping us keep MSU safe during the upcoming winter season. We begin this month's new project presentations with the Spartan Stadium Installation of Permanent Field Lighting project. Spartan Stadium is located in the Athletic and Recreation District. Currently, temporary rental lighting is used at Spartan Stadium for evening events. This lighting is paid for by the television networks who broadcast from the facility. However, beginning with the 2017 football season, the Big Ten broadcast agreement will require the installation of permanent field lighting. The scope of the project will include installation of permanent LED field lighting in the stadium, which will meet NCAA National Championship broadcast lighting levels and will be fully controllable. Impacts to the campus community will include minor pedestrian detouring around the facility, as well as potential single-lane closures of the east service drive to the service garage. However, the garage will be accessible at all times. Construction is scheduled to begin this coming February and is anticipated to be complete by July. Here you see an overhead aerial view of Spartan Stadium showing the anticipated locations of the new field lighting fixtures in yellow. Some examples of the type of lighting system elements that will be installed. Here you see a graphic of the project area indicating those areas that will be impacted from March to May of 2017. And a graphic of the same area with areas impacted from June to July. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the Spartan Stadium Permanent Lighting Project can be directed to the design representative, Jeff Bonk. We now have a presentation on the project to replace the field hockey playing surface at the Ralph Young Track. The Ralph Young Track is located in the Athletic and Recreation District immediately southwest of Spartan Stadium. This project is necessary as the artificial turf of the field has exceeded its rated life. Failures in the subsurface are to a point where they are beyond repair, and seams in the turf are failing, which causes concern for player safety as well as game integrity. The scope of the project will include replacement of the artificial turf, underlayment, and irrigation system. There will also be areas of the track which will need to be restored or replaced depending on construction traffic impact. Impacts to the campus community will include minor pedestrian detours along the sidewalk north of the track. Construction is slated to begin in May of 2017 with completion by the following July. Here is an aerial view of the track and the field as it currently exists. And here is a graphic of the anticipated field reconstruction. Ground level views of the field hockey field surface clearly show deterioration of the playing surface, which is slated for replacement. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the Ralph Young Track Field Hockey Field Replacement Project can be directed to the design representative, Tressa Wall. Next, we have an overview of the project that capped the old coal pile site at the T.B. Simon Power Plant. The T.B. Simon Power Plant is located in the service district on Service Drive. After the decision by the university to cease the burning of coal at the T.B. Simon Power Plant, the surplus of coal that had been stored on site was eventually depleted. Capping of the site was an important part of the retirement process, which allows the coal pile site to be removed from the campus MDEQ air quality permit. Capping creates an improved surface area, which utilizes MSU recycled crushed concrete over a portion of the site, and minimizes future maintenance needs. The scope of the project included contouring of the entire site to a consistent subgrade with no export of existing materials, and covering this area with geotextile fabric to control intermixing of the capping material with the existing subgrade, 8 inches of certified clay material over the fabric, 6 inches of topsoil, with 2/3 being seeded and 1/3 being covered with MSU recycled crushed concrete gravel, which will provide a low-maintenance area for traverse around the hoop house. Impacts to the campus community included congested logistics around the power plant and adjacent facilities during delivery of capping materials. Construction began on October 19th and was completed on November 17th. Here you see a photo of the coal pile site prior to retirement, with the hoop house in the background. The coal pile was eventually depleted after the decision to stop burning coal at the power plant. Here you see crews grading the area in preparation for the capping material. And a view of the area after completion of capping, showing the larger seated area in the foreground and the area covered in recycled concrete gravel behind, adjacent to the hoop house. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the T.B. Simon Power Plant capping the coal pile site project can be directed to the construction representative, Chris Barnes. We now have an update on the 1855 Place project. This project is located in the Northwest Residential Mixed-Use District at the former site of the Michigan State Police Post. The goals of this project include creating a living environment that supports both single students and student families around the resources they need to be academically successful, creating an institutional asset to further our world-class land-grant mission, consolidating office spaces from across campus, freeing up space for academic programs while saving resources and improving communications, and creating synergies between residential and hospitality services and intercollegiate athletics. The scope of the project will include a 102,000 square foot mixed-use office building that will be LEED Silver certified, which will include RHS offices, intercollegiate athletic offices, as well as retail space. Creation of 438,000 square feet of student apartments, both single student apartments, as well as family housing apartments. Creation of 2,075 parking spaces, including a parking deck, to accommodate students, staff, and campus events. Funding sources for this project will come from auxiliary funds, from RHS, intercollegiate athletics, and parking fees. Construction on this project commenced in the summer of 2015. The new parking ramp opened in April of this year. The family housing units were ready for occupancy in August. The single student housing units are expected to be open sometime in August of 2017, as well as the various retail spaces in the new mixed-use tower. The office tower, Hall of Champions, and the housing assignment office should be ready for occupancy sometime in October of 2017. The site as it existed prior to the start of construction shows the location of University Village, which remains after construction is complete, the location of event parking, which has been relocated to the south, as well as the 3 structures that have been demolished or relocated. The site redevelopment will include building of new family housing, single student apartments, retail and office space, and a new parking deck and surface lot. This project is to be completed in 2 phases in order to minimize disruptions and to maintain event parking availability during the entirety of the project. Phase 1 included demolition of the existing police post buildings and the theater department scene shop, which was relocated to South Campus next to the MSU Federal Credit Union. Phase 1 also included the construction of the parking ramp and surface lot, as well as the construction of 3 family housing units. During Phase 1 construction, a temporary construction access road was installed to the west of the site. Phase 2 of the project includes construction of the single student apartment buildings, as well as the office and retail towers. During this phase, event parking has been moved to the newly constructed parking deck and surface lot. Here you see an aerial view rendering of the project showing the location of the new parking ramp, the office and retail towers, single student apartment buildings, the existing University Village structures, and the new family housing units. Here you see the address and building name assignments for this project. Please note that the address of the Communications Storage University Village building is changing from 1165 Garden City Road to 1159 Pine Tree Court. The address of the parking booth for Lot 63 is also changing from 721 South Harrison Road to 675 South Harrison Road. Here is a view of the proposed office tower showing the intercollegiate athletic office space on the top floor. And here is a view of the proposed mixed-use tower from the corner of Harrison and Kalamazoo. Masons and roofers continue work on the office and retail tower enclosure. And here's another view of the work being done on the office and retail tower enclosure. Masonry work is still in progress. A view of the progress being made on the single student housing units. Framing progresses on the end caps of the single student apartment units. These structures will house common areas for apartment residents, including mailboxes and fitness centers. And yet another view of the framing work continuing on the end caps. For those of you who would like to follow progress of construction on this project, please check out the live webcam site at the address on the screen. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the 1855 Place project can be directed to the project representative, Andy Linebaugh. We next have an update on the work that is being done as part of the Breslin Student Event Center Facility Upgrades Project. The Breslin Center is located in the Athletic and Recreation District. The university is undertaking this project in order to enhance the student, alumni, fan, and public experience by improving the functionality of the event center, to create a lasting legacy by integrating a sense of Spartan tradition throughout the facility, and to extend the useful life of the building by improving services to the fans and implementing major maintenance items. The project is being divided into two phases: facility upgrades and athletics addition. The phases are being designed in a way that minimizes rework and are being fully coordinated throughout their design and construction. Phase 1 includes a 22,000 square foot addition around the building, an expanded concourse, renovation and upgrading of the restroom facilities, renovation of concession stands, improvements to the entry vestibules to the main concourse, improvements to finish levels and experience on the concourse, improvements to site conditions for ingress and egress, improvements to site security, replacement of the chiller system, and connection to the East Lansing water system. Phase 2 includes a 30,000 square foot addition, which will create a sense of main entry and destination into the building and includes a Hall of History. Construction on this project began in January and is expected to be complete by August of 2017. Here you see the proposed floor plan of the completed facility upgrades, showing the expansion of the concourse area, the new restroom and concession areas, and the new Hall of History. As part of the Breslin upgrade, there will also be changes to the area surrounding the center. A new plaza outside of the Hall of History is planned, with the Magic Johnson statue being slightly relocated to accommodate the new addition. There will also be improvements to adjacent parking and loading areas, as well as a new crosswalk across Harrison Road to the newly constructed parking ramp. Here is a graphic showing the work that is ongoing from the period of late October to March of 2017, highlighting the areas of the work site that are still in construction, as well as the areas that are completed and in operation. Steelwork on the new Hall of History addition continues. And here you see another view of the steelwork on the Hall of History. Crews are continuing preparations for concrete pouring. And here we have an interesting view of some of the unique steelwork that makes up the facility's unique architecture. Here you see an artist rendering of the Hall of History Plaza, which will include the relocated Magic Johnson statue. For those of you who would like to follow the progress of construction on this project, please check out the live webcam site at the address on the screen. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the Breslin Center Facility Upgrades project can be directed to the construction representative, Jason Van Zee. Lastly, we have an update on the Facility for Rare Isotope Beams project. The FRIB facility is located in the Central Academic District at the intersection of Wilson Road and Bogue Street. Traffic and pedestrian routing plans for the next year include restriping and turnover of 1 westbound and 2 eastbound lanes of Wilson Road, moving site fencing to the south, and opening of the bike path. By July of 2018, all 4 lanes of Wilson Road will be reopened. Here we have a rendered perspective from the southwest of the completed facility. Another rendering of the completed building from the southeast. And yet another rendering of the structure, this time from the northeast. Here you see an artist rendering of an aerial view of the completed structure, and here we have an aerial view of the actual FRIB site as it exists today. Installation of the components of the cryogenic systems continues, with the tunnel cryogenics transfer line, the upper and lower cold boxes, the large bore warm piping in the compressor room, and the small bore gas and process cooling water piping. Here you see the installation of the horizontal cold box. Electrical panel installation on equipment racks continues. The appearance of the facility exterior has changed considerably with the installation of the metal panel facades. If you would like further information about this or any other project, visit the construction.msu.edu webpage. There you will find links to all current and past projects. Specific questions regarding the Facility for a Rare Isotope Beams project can be directed to the project representative, Brad Bull. This concludes the December Construction Junction presentation. We encourage you to visit the Infrastructure Planning and Facilities website at www.ipf.msu.edu. There you will find information on construction and maintenance alerts, detour information, construction junction information, project and contact information. There are also a number of other IPF resources available, including listservs that you can subscribe to keep up to date with various IPF projects and events. Stay connected with IPF via social media. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Watch our videos on YouTube. And follow us on Instagram. Construction Junction presentations will be made available on the CJ website beginning the 7th of each month. We thank you for taking the time to check us out, and we hope you'll visit again soon.